Hey there, and welcome to another Fortnite action figure review. Today we are taking a look at the newly released Fortnite Chapter 1 Collection 10 figure set. It actually says down here includes 11 pieces, but it's 10 figures according to this. And the reason it says 11 pieces is because it also has a Season X, Season 10, whichever, map inside. And I can actually see it right down here from the angle I'm at. So this is from Jazwares. This is also, I think, called the Fortnite Battle Royale set. I think it's got kind of two names here. But this is really cool. The most interesting thing is this is an $80 set. And so when you divide that by 10 figures, it kind of breaks it down to like $8 a figure, which really in the past hasn't been that bad. Most figures when they're in the single modes or the solo modes were $13, $12.99. They're now down to $10, $9.99 per figure. But there's also a few of these figures that you can't just get. Like DJ Yonder was a solo figure. Peely was a solo figure. Drift was a solo figure. But so the rest of them were not or are not solo figures. Rustlord came with the Llama Drama Loot Pinata. Black Knight came with the 1x1 builder set. The Visitor was an early game survival kit, so he was like $20. Rocks came with the Future Squad mode set. So some of these figures you couldn't just get by themselves, and this is, if you don't have them, this is probably the best way or a really good way to get them. Now, I didn't point out these two, Gold Ice King and Eternal Voyager. That's the catch for this set. These are brand new figures. Actually, Eternal Voyager is a brand new figure. Gold Ice King is a repaint of the Ice King that came with the Jumbo Loot Llama. So those two figures are how they hooked us in and got us to get this set. So let me flip this thing around here real quick. We'll take a look at the back. It's a big box. I had to readjust my filming area for this. So here on the back, as it did on the front, it tells you which season they're from. Jonesy Season 1, Black Knight is Season 2, Rustlord is Season 3, The Visitor is Season 4, Drift is Season 5, DJ Yonder is Season 6, Ice King is Season 7, Peely is Season 8, Rocks is Season 9, and Eternal Voyager is Season X. And I'm not going to go through and read all that. Although, hey, actually, I did just notice something. It actually says which set they're a part of. This is the first time any of the Jazwares Fortnite action figures have actually said which set they're a part of. Part of the Drift set, part of the Banana Bunch set, part of the Ice Kingdom set, part of no set. But anyway, that's kind of cool. That is actually really cool. All right, let's quit enjoying this box. Let's get this thing out of the package. All right, we actually have the figures out of the box, but before we get to the figures, I wanted to point out a couple things. First, this thing that's a little bit difficult to see, the season or the island map. That's really cool. This is actually made of really pretty good thick paper cardboard, and you could put this in a frame if you wanted to and frame it. It's actually really, really neat. I had to roll it backwards just to be able to get it this far because it was rolled up like this and it was not wanting to unroll. But this is a really cool little extra that Jazwares threw in there, and I think that's really pretty cool. I remember playing in some of these areas. We're in a different map for Chapter 2, but yeah, that's kind of neat. The other thing is the background that was in there that's in the box. That's really neat too. It's got these little stands where on your party screen or your solo screen, or the figures would stand, or stands on there, that area, and they had it like right behind each of these figures to kind of represent them standing in their game position. So that's really kind of cool. I like this little background. You could probably somehow use this for a display behind some of your figures if you wanted to. So let's get to the figures now. Now the figures are out of the package and they're standing here in front of us. Now I'm not going to go through each and every one of them, articulation wise, because most of these we've looked at in the past. In fact, all of these except for Eternal Voyager, and the Gold Ice King. Well, we've looked at the Blue Ice King, but not the Gold Ice King. We've looked at all of them before, so I'll just kind of go through them real quick. We've got Jonesy. Let me focus in the camera here. There we go. We got Jonesy, Black Knight, Rust Lord, the Visitor, Drift, oh, and his cool coat, DJ Yonder, that Peely's always trying to steal the show, Golden Ice King, Peely, yeah, Rocks, and Eternal Voyager. Now, there were... Uh-oh. They're all goners. Now, there are no weapons, there are no building materials, there are no harvesting tools, and there are no back bling. There is nothing in this set except for these 10 figures. So I'm going to push all these figures off to the side now and devote the rest of the show to these two. Let's take a quick look at them. Starting with Golden Ice King. Now, he is really cool. I love the colors. The gold and the dark gray. It's almost like a gunmetal silvery gray. It's just really, really neat, I think. This is a really good repaint. I haven't checked out any of his motions yet. Oh, yeah. So you might want to do that. Be careful. There was a few of them in the set that reminded me of the original squad mode. When we first got the squad mode from way back in 2018, some of the joints were a little stiff, and I'd heard rumors and seen information online where some of the joints were breaking. So, be watchful of that. So, yeah, this guy is really cool. His head rotates all the way around, and he can look down, he can look up, and his arms will rotate all the way around, and his shoulders will go up about that far. He has a bit of a hindrance here with his gold shoulder pads. I'll put him back down. His arms or his elbows will rotate all the way around, and his wrists will... His elbows rotate so well that won't let his wrists. His wrists rotate, and there is the hinge on both of those. Now, I was trying to a few seconds ago. The elbow is a little bit stiff here on mine, but it will bend. Both of them will. It'd be kind of silly to have one without the other. This isn't like Major Blood here. The torso wiggle and the waist will, at some point, somehow, maybe not. Hey, we lost a leg. The ghosts of Gold Ice King past. I don't know. I'm making stuff up. His legs on mine are really loose. He can do the splits pretty good. He could jog if he wanted to. He's got some nice, if you can keep his leg on, he's got some nice thigh rotation there. He's got double pin knees, and his ankles will rotate, and they kind of hinge a little bit. There is some hindrance here with the front buckle on his boot that won't allow it to go up real far. It kind of connects with the front shin area there. But you can bend his ankle backwards. So now that we've gotten him a little bit exercised and limbered up, he's just really cool. I love the coloring, the orange, the gold. It works really well. It's a little overpriced, $80 for 2 new figures, so it's like $40 per figure. It's a little overpriced, but there's a few figures I was wanting again anyway. All right, so let's take a look at Eternal Voyager, the masked man, the masked alien, and his head does look to be a little bit smaller than his body, just a little bit, but I think it'll be okay. What would be really cool is if the mask came off and we had the flaming head underneath. I predict that we will get that at some point because we've got this figure. I bet they'll reuse this body and put a new head on it sometime. So let's take a peek at his articulation here real quick. His head, mine's a little bit stiff, but it will rotate all the way around. He can rotate his shoulders all the way around, And if he lifts up his shoulders, this one's a little stiff. That's really stiff there. He can go up about that far. I'm floating. Put him back down. Kind of, sort of, maybe. His elbows will rotate, and this one rotates quite a bit better than the last one. Not 90 degrees, in fact. That's about what we get there. I could probably use just a little bit more of a bend. That's going to hinder some poses, quite possibly. So, rotate the wrists, they do. And there's a hinge on the wrist that there we go. There we go. It finally moves. You be careful, you might have to crack some of these joints open. His torso has a good wiggle. He can bounce and his waist will rotate all the way around. He's got a pretty good movement in his leg area. Really good, really. His thighs will swivel. They both do. And he's got double pin knees. The last but not least, his ankles will rotate all the way around. And he's got at least a little bit of an ankle hinge that will work. Even though there's this kind of like boot topper there, that's a bit of I would have thought was a hindrance, but it actually does move back and forth just a little bit, if you can see what past my hands there. It's a really cool figure. I like both of these new figures. Whether one's a repaint and one's new doesn't really bother me too much. You know, at the end of the day, they're toys. I didn't say that. At the end of the day, they're adult collectible action figures, I mean, for display on shelves, and never, ever, ever take them outside to play with them. Take them outside only to pose them and take pictures, right? Anyway, just gotta cover myself here with this channel. These aren't toys. These are not children's playthings. These are adult collectible items. Anyway, I like these new figures. I think they're pretty cool. I will say one more thing real quick. The edition of the Season 10 map, which I don't have anymore here, I mean, I have it, but is really cool. And I'm going to throw out an idea to Jazwares. Here's an idea. I think it would be really awesome for you to explore the idea on a future set, maybe another one of these sets, of a music CD. I know some of you people out there are going to like, why do we need a CD? Well, I don't think the music is available for download. So I think that would be really kind of cool, like some sort of a music, Chapter 1 music CD, or a redemption code to download that music legally. I think that would be a really cool add-in, and then you could have a variety of music. Don't ya think? That would be really awesome. Anyway, I think that does it for this video. I don't think I have anything more. I mean, we could have Peely come out and dance around and talk to you, but yeah, anyway. That's all I got for you. Thank you for stopping by, and thank you for watching. If you found the video helpful and useful, please give me a thumbs up. That like helps a lot. If you have questions or comments, drop them in the section below, because I like talking to you, and I will answer everything I can as quick as I can. And if you want to be notified when more of these types of videos come out in the future, then hit that subscribe button and the bell notification icon. We will see you in the next video.